What if we become a K7 civilization? What if humanity was a Type 7 civilization? Let's find out. Welcome to our channel Space Venture. In today's video, we are going to talk about Kardashev scale. The Kardashev scale is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy it can use. The measure was proposed by Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev in 1964. The scale is hypothetical and regards energy consumption on a cosmic scale. Various extensions of the scale have since been proposed, including a wider range of power levels and the use of metrics other than pure power. Kardashev first outlined his scale in a paper presented at the 1964 Birakan Conference, a scientific meeting that reviewed the Soviet radio astronomy space listing program. Classification of civilizations into three types, based on the postulate of exponential progression. A Type 1 civilization can access all the energy available on its planet and store it for consumption. A Type 2 civilization can directly consume the energy of a star. Finally, a Type 3 civilization can capture all the energy emitted by its galaxy. In a second article entitled Strategies of Searching for Extraterrestrial Intelligence and published in 1980, Kardashev wonders about civilization, which he defines by its capacity to access energy, maintain itself and integrate information from its environment. Two other articles followed on the inevitability and the possible structure of super civilizations and cosmology and civilizations, published respectively in 1985 and 1997. The Soviet astronomer proposes tracks to detect super civilizations and to direct the SETI programs. The scale defined by Kardashev has been the subject of two main reevaluations, that of Carl Sagan, who refines the types, and that of Michio Kaku, who discards the enemy postulate in favor of the knowledge economy. Other debates on the nature of the different types have allowed many authors to question Kardashev's original classification, either to complete it or refute it. Two critical perspectives have thus emerged. One that questions Kardashev's postulates, judging them to be incomplete or inconsistent, and the other that establishes alternative scales. Kardashev has given rise to numerous scenarios exploring the possibility of more evolved civilizations. These scenarios each question in their way the three postulates of Kardashev defining a civilization: energy sources, technology, and the transmission of interstellar messages. The framework for the search for and detection of advanced civilizations was constructed and theorized during the conference held in 1964 in Armenia at the Birakan Astrophysical Observatory, starting from a functional definition of civilization based on the immutability of physical laws and using human civilization as a model of extrapolation. The initial model of Kardashev was developed. Several scientists have conducted various searches for possible civilizations, but without conclusive results. Based on these criteria, unusual objects, now known to be either pulsars or quasars, were identified. Kardashev has described in his various publications a set of listening and observing parameters to be taken into account. However, some authors, notably Samuel Aronovich, Kaplan, and Guillermo A. Lemarchand, consider that these are insufficient and need to be completed. The hypothetical classification known as the Kardashev scale distinguishes three stages of evolution of civilizations according to the double criterion of access and the use of energy. The purpose of this classification is to guide the search for extraterrestrial civilizations, particularly within SETI, in which Kardashev participated, and this is on the assumption that a fraction of the energy used by each type is intended to communicate with other civilizations. To make the scale more understandable, Lemarchand compares the speed of transmission across the galaxy of a volume of information equivalent to a medium-sized library. A Type 2 civilization can send this data using a transmission beam emitting for only 100 seconds. A similar amount of information can be sent across intergalactic distances of about 10 million light-years, with a transmission time of several weeks. A Type 3 civilization can transmit the same amount of data to the entire observable universe with a transmission time of 3 seconds. Kardashev's classification is based on the assumption of the growth rate of 1% per year. Kardashev believes that it will take humanity 3,200 years to reach Type 2 and 5,800 years to reach Type 3. These types are thus separated from each other by a growth rate of several billion. At the current time, humanity has not yet reached Type 1 civilization status. Physicist and futurist Michio Kaku suggested that if humans increase their energy consumption at an average rate of 3% each year, they may attain Type 1 status in 100 to 200 years, Type 2 status in a few thousand years, and Type 3 status in 100,000 to a million years. In 2015, a study of galactic mid-infrared emissions concluded that Kardashev Type 3 civilizations are either very rare or do not exist in the local universe. In 2016, Paul Gilster, author of the Centauri Dreams website, described a signal apparently from the star HD 164595 as requiring the power of a Type 1 or Type 2 civilization, if produced by extraterrestrial life forms. However, in August 2016, it was discovered that the signal's origin was most likely a military satellite orbiting the Earth. There are many historical examples of human civilization undergoing large-scale transitions, such as the Industrial Revolution. The transition between Kardashev scale levels could potentially represent similarly dramatic periods of social upheaval, since they entail surpassing the hard limits of the resources available in a civilization's existing territory. Common speculation suggests that the transition from Type 0 to Type 1 might carry a strong risk of self-destruction, since in some scenarios there would be no longer room for further expansion of the civilization's home planet, as in the Malthusian catastrophe. Excessive use of energy without adequate heat disposal, for example, could plausibly make the planet of a civilization approaching Type 1 unsuitable to the biology of the dominant life forms and their food sources. If Earth is an example, then sea temperatures over 35 degrees Celsius, which is 95 degrees Fahrenheit, would jeopardize marine life and make the cooling of mammals to temperatures suitable for their metabolism difficult, if not impossible. Of course, these theoretical speculations may not become problems, possibly through the applications of future engineering and technology. Also, by the time a civilization reaches Type 1, it may have colonized on other planets or created O'Neill-type colonies, so that waste heat could be distributed throughout the planetary system. The limitation of biological life forms and the evolution of computing technology may lead to the transformation of civilization through mind uploading and artificial general intelligence in general during the transition from Type 1 to Type 2, leading to a digitalized civilization. The most straightforward extension of the scale would include Type 0 civilizations who do not rank on the Kardashev scale, to even more hypothetical Type 4 beings who can control or use the entire universe, or Type 5, who control collections of universes. The power output of the visible universe is within a few orders of magnitude of 1045 W. Such a civilization approaches or surpasses the limits of speculation based on current scientific understanding and may not be possible. K6 civilization exists in the metaverse and is capable of creating and maintaining the fundamental laws of universes. They exist in an infinite amount of simultaneously existing multiverses that represent an infinite amount of instances in all laws of physics. They can also be regarded as para-universal, as they exist in infinite parallels to the 11D space-time continuum, while infinite instances of past and futures. As humans become literal gods of the metaverses, they cannot be stopped unless a civilization at or beyond K7 engages in combat with humanity. K7 civilizations would travel, transcend, and ultimately oversee or be the Omniverse, which is the collection of every single universe, multiverse, metaverse, paraverse, 11D dimension, and first realm. Everything is in the Omniverse, and there is only one Omniverse. Such power would likely come from an individual rather than a civilization, as the civilization would have transcended and merged into a single mind that would encompass all thoughts and all timelines, thus being omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. This is the Creator, a God above all gods, responsible for all of the existence, past and future. So this is all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do like, share, and hit the bell button for more updates. See you in the next video.